Hey, I'm here to give you feedback on your run. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to DM me directly or ping me in your RIP thread. In terms of like how this feedback is going to look in this run, I'm going to do a couple of things potentially differently. For example, since the personal best, or since the run time is kind of on the higher end of things, I'm just gonna point out like resources for improvement rather than like general misplay type of thing. Unless like it's like really egregious habits, I suppose. Wait, is this ARSG? Okay, it's ARSG, so that changes things slightly, I think. I'm not sure. This is kind of something to talk about, I guess. Especially... Well, yeah, I guess I'm confused. I noticed pretty much immediately with your F3 stuff that, like, you're using a cheated instance, right? So this is like an ARSG instance, maybe. So for that reason, this wouldn't be verifiable. Not that you may want a 25-minute run on the leaderboards necessarily, and definitely for the future, getting this under wraps, I guess. Is every instance like this? Yeah, I think you're blending instances. Because, like, that one, yeah, like this one, you have the resetting a random seed. Awesome. The other one is ARSG, so I'm, one, curious as to why you'd have that in your regular rotation, and two, like, yeah, I don't know. It just seems weird to me. This is nice. In terms of routing, there's two things going on. One, I like that you got this treasure map. I think a lot of people kind of like would nitpick this detail as like, oh, you shouldn't get this because you could just get iron from the boat, right? But I like this because you can just get more resources, like more food, TNT, etc. from this, which on a 20+ minute run can help, and the like couple seconds of time loss on getting this just doesn't end up mattering all that much. However, I think that like if you have resources in a structure like shipwrecks, like buried treasures, whatever, I think you need to get all of those resources so that way you can, you know, use them throughout the run. So for example, I think like diamonds would be like a really good example for this. I noticed that a lot of times runners to your caliber just run out of their pickaxe, right? So this shipwreck could have like 1 diamond, right? And then this buried treasure could have 2. And then all of a sudden you have a diamond pick that not only will not run out during this run, however, will also then, like, you could just straight up force out 20 obsidian. So it's things like that you need to be aware of on, like, if it's a linear structure that you could loot, and by linear I mean like, hold on. So like all the way over here, you could see like all the way up here, for example, you could see a ruined portal. And I also think that ruined portals are okay to grab if like they're on the way, you know. But like forcing a ruined portal up here doesn't matter. But if it's over here, like obviously just grab it. So I think it's just a good idea to just grab all of the stuff that you can in a linear way. That's kind of funny. Oh, this overworld is kind of juiced. Holy. There's this resource. Well, I think you are making like good crafting decisions as well. Potentially. Oh. Nice. You're gonna flood your pool. Yep. Yeah. And this portal build also, like, part of this is I want to get you in good habits, and this portal build is just like totally fine and not the best one. So if you would like me to link you a way to build portals that's just faster, so the more that you progress throughout your time speed running, like, you can just do that portal type and just be, like, on average quicker. Getting your settings changed in, like, pre-nether is, like, super important as well. So that way you can see spikes and everything. Is this sprinting? Beautiful. Very well done, actually. Okay, identifying which bastion this is, and also like more optimal ways to do this would be in your best interest. I think generally speaking, learning like you can't learn enough about bastions. This is Staples, by the way. You can tell by just like how buried this everything is. If it was housing, especially this, like this wouldn't be buried at all. And that like slightly changes how you route it, right? Like if you're playing this triple, which I think you end up saying in your rip thing that you play the triple. Yeah, so like, and you also say that you don't know how to efficiently route things. Triple is the one, Stables is the bastion to kind of like stun lock everybody. Like even I'm still learning stuff. Even like top runners are still learning stuff about it. Which are like micro stuff, sure, but like seriously just like diving in and learning how to route a Stables bastion is like just really good. And also treasure and housing and bridge and all of that. All of these guys will be aggroed as soon as you break gold. Good habit to get into. Priffin, in Priffin's PB, which I can link, he has a really good way of routing like a gap, or not a gap, a triple, that I just think is correct 100% of the time, and it's not doing anything except changing the order that you like break blocks. I can link that if you'd like. I think also checking if this is another triple is a good idea. Well, I guess you know that it's not another triple. Never mind. Also knowing how to get back to like gap and everything from triple is like super important. Like what you did is fine and also just not optimal. Be very cautious with Soul Sand and Hoglins. That's why. You also have a ton of food this run. That's awesome. Oh, but that guy's... If you're trying to do gap, one, good idea. Two, it's just sad that that guy's there. I think just grabbing gap gold and then bringing it back... No. Never mind, that's fine as well. Pigfall? Let's go. I don't know if this is great. I also just don't think it matters all that much. I go like back and forth knowing whether or not Pigfall is good or not. I think it's like definitely good as a ranked route. I don't know about it for RSG though. Yeah, that's why it's like a ranked route. Like in RSG, you just don't have to grab those backups. Like your trades right now could totally just be done, right? Like you have enough string, you have enough glowstone if you know how to use it. You'll, in theory, have enough pearls. You definitely have enough obsidian, so like... Yeah. Like Pigfall, yeah. And also ranked routes are really good still because they're like, you know, 100% for efficiency. That's a good habit as well. I love that you're crafting a blaze bed right now. However, also keep in mind pace. You could also just leave right now. This could have been done earlier as well. But I guess that doesn't matter, even in the slightest. You seem to be watching a lot of Dugail film. That's good. Especially with how he routes stables. I think that just most of the time his stables routing is just super good. Oh, that's sad. Oh, and then there's that guy as well. You don't need to, like, extend this out at all, by the way. This has, like, zero bearing to do with any, like, extra valid spawning spaces. All it would do is, like, prevent fire and also extra spawning, or, like, not having to jump down here for rods. But, like, since you're in an enclosed spawner, this is totally optional. Do you do Bodai? What? Do you do it correctly, though? No, that's just unlucky. Digging up like this isn't optimal. You just want to like break place, break place, break place instead of break, break, break place. And that's because, yeah, I'll just link that resource, but since this is like going to be kind of a common occurrence throughout your time speedrunning, that's just important to note. I can link a resource if you'd like, but again, good habits. If you set up Bodai, this is actually really fucking hype. You can just leave that eye, by the way. No, I guess that's what you do. I hope. Yes. This is beautiful. It's slow for what the split is, but you do everything super well. So it's like just an experience and practice thing rather than like a misguided ideas thing. Which obviously as a beginner you have to do a lot of anyway. Why are we killing these guys? You have like enough food to feed a village. Unless you threw out your rotten flesh at some point. Oh, I see. Rotten flesh is actually a really good food source. I can link like a document for you, but essentially like it's just good filler food. Obviously, if you're relying on you know, regenning HP quickly with it, it's not good. However, like it's just good food. Like for example, if you only had cod, like this would be even better because cod fills 2.5 of these bars, and since you have 3 down, like you just eat a rotten flesh, which is like super inconsequential, and then you can just get like fast healing from the cod as well. If your cords are around here, just deck this guy. Or just like dig down and like deal with the consequences later. Like you have the food to deal with it, and you can also death reset. You can just let the lava flow on him. Like you're not gonna eat 6 pork chops through the rest of the run, you know? If we know boat ice, I'm sure that we know preemptive. That's the spike right there. That was pretty. Pack Dragon. Good. You can rip a pearl in this direction. Rather than forcing the insta-perch. Or like being ready for an insta-perch. Generally speaking, so long as the dragon is within the like edge of the field of your view, you just want to step as far back as you can, so that way you just kind of like force the dragon to strafe as much as it can. Or not force, but like, you know, I don't know how to explain it. Basically, you want to be standing back further, so that way, if it perches, it'll perch. If it doesn't, dragon behavior is just really nuanced. Just stand back. Oh, actually, I want to slow this all the way down. That was real early. I think that was for height correction, maybe. But I also think that it's totally fine. Like, this isn't going to break bed. And also you have a billion beds, so it just doesn't matter. Good damage. Good damage. Okay damage, slightly early. +1. Ah. Nice. Yeah, I think overall this run, like, the biggest part would have been the Bastion, right? Because, like, everything else was, like, pretty linear overall, I think. And just also the measuring split, but even with Bodai, it's not like super clean at this level. So yeah, I just really think that getting just getting a ton of knowledge about Bastions is just always going to be good. That and just like efficient food usage, especially at this level, like those are two things that I normally see runners at this level struggle with. So having that knowledge can really take you to the next level, and it's also not that hard to learn. So because of that, I would recommend because of that, if you would like any of the resources that I've said in this video, I'm more than happy to provide it. And also, because you're at a beginner level, I'd recommend looking at the other beginner level runs on this YouTube channel, or like any run in the like 15 to 20 minute range, just so that way you can see what they do different than you do right now. But I think that's mostly like a confidence and experience thing. Well, not saying that you're not confident, but you know, they just have more practice, you know. So that's the feedback.